Even though we've uncovered a lot about our ancestors over the past few centuries, there's still so much hidden beneath the surface. Here are 15 of the most amazing archaeological finds you need to see, finds that are just as wild and unforgettable as anything history has ever handed us. And trust us, this is going to be a much better experience than reading your history textbook. Number 15. Ancient human bone in the River Thames. Some of the most intimate links to our ancestors come through their bones, but time eventually erodes even those. That's why a 5,000-year-old femur discovered in London's River Thames in February 2022 is so extraordinary. Found by graphic designer Simon Hunt during an early morning row, the bone lay exposed on the riverbed. Its condition was so pristine that Simon initially feared it belonged to a recent death and contacted the police. Testing revealed the bone dated between 3,516 BCE and 3,365 BCE, older than Stonehenge or the Great Pyramid of Giza. It likely remained preserved for millennia beneath layers of silt and mud, only dislodged recently by the current. Though Simon contacted the British Museum, the bone currently sits on a shelf in his home. It's an eerie reminder that fragments of prehistoric humans still lie hidden beneath modern cities, sometimes just waiting for a shift in the tide to bring them back into our world. Number 14. Mesopotamian war god ritual site. If you were looking for entertainment in ancient Mesopotamia, Girsu might have been your hotspot. In 2020, archaeologists confirmed they had uncovered a 5,000-year-old ritual site in present-day Iraq, built in honor of the warrior god Ningirsu. The site includes clear signs of feasts, rituals, and what can only be described as ancient open-air celebrations. Excavators unearthed hundreds of ceramic drinking vessels, jars, and spouted pitchers, many discarded beside butchered animal bones. At the center of it all is an 8-foot-deep pit, known as a fovissa, where the remains of sacrificial animals were tossed. The setup is intense, but for the era, this was a typical way to celebrate and worship. What puzzled researchers, though, was a small bronze duck figurine with seashell eyes. It didn't quite fit with the war god theme. Some believe it was a tribute to Nanshi, the Mesopotamian goddess of water and birds. Whatever its purpose, this site gives us a rare, raw glimpse into how people mix devotion with meat, music, and myth. Number 13. The Mammoth Bone Circle of Kostenki, 11. We already know that early humans lived alongside woolly mammoths, and some even hunted them. But we still have no clue what led to the creation of this Ice Age structure in modern-day Russia. It's a massive 40-foot-wide ring made entirely of mammoth bones. I mean, talking about tusks, skulls, ribs, and everything, and all of them were carefully placed in this circular pattern. The site, known as Kostenki 11, is about 25,000 years old, though it was only first recorded in 2014. The remains of more than 60 mammoths have been identified, but archaeologists are still baffled about the reason behind the layout. One working theory suggests the bones came from butchered carcasses, preserved in the permafrost like a primitive freezer. That might explain the storage, but not the deliberate symmetry. The bones were laid 2 feet high, in a full circle. Whether it was ritual, symbolic, or something else entirely, no one knows. Whatever it was, these Ice Age hunters clearly had more on their cold brains than just survival. Number 12. The Jurassic fossil, hidden in a cannonball rock. Finding a rock shaped like a golden cannonball would be a win for any fossil hunter, but this one held something far better. In February 2019, fossil enthusiast Aaron Smith spotted a round, gleaming rock along Sand Beach in Yorkshire, England. Covered in iron pyrite, it caught his eye. He brought it home, cleaned it up, and cracked it open, revealing a perfectly preserved spiral fossil inside. What he had discovered was the ancient remains of a Cliviceras, a long-extinct marine cephalopod from the Jurassic period around 185 million years ago. These creatures were early relatives of today's squid and octopuses, but their soft bodies usually don't survive long enough to fossilize. That's what makes this one special. The fossil was encased in soft limestone, allowing for rare preservation. It fits in the palm of your hand and is among the most intact examples ever discovered anywhere in the world. A strange-looking beach rock turned out to be a prehistoric snapshot sealed in stone for nearly 200 million years. Number 11. Jin Dynasty Palace in Beijing Olympic Village. The 2022 Winter Olympics were hosted in Beijing, and I am sure you all know it. Organizing an event of that scale required building an Olympic village for the athletes. During construction in Zhangjiakou City, Hebei Province, something remarkable came to light. Construction crews found what archaeologists later confirmed as a Jin Dynasty summer palace dating back to the early 13th century. The find was so significant that the entire Olympic village was relocated to prevent further damage to the site. Within the ruins, researchers found intricate dragon head sculptures, rare ceramics, embroidered textiles, and the foundations of 67 buildings. The site also revealed 14 ancient roads and remnants of palace walls. Experts believe this is likely the long-lost Taihe Palace, built for Emperor Wanyan Jing in 1202. If confirmed, it would be the first Jin Dynasty palace complex ever uncovered. Though the 2022 Olympics have ended, it's just amazing to see how a complete royal China palace that was once lost has been rediscovered. Number 10. The Temple of Queen Night. A 4,200-year-old funerary temple has been unearthed in the Saqqara necropolis in Egypt, a region that was once part of Memphis, Egypt's ancient capital. The site, near the Pyramid of King Teti, includes the remains of a mortuary temple believed to belong to Queen Night. Her name is carved directly into the temple's inner walls, suggesting she was likely Teti's wife. Nearby, archaeologists also identified the foundation of a smaller pyramid, thought to be dedicated to her as well. Despite her status, Queen Night is a historical mystery. Her name does not appear in Egyptian records outside this site. Teti's legacy is well documented, but his queen remained unacknowledged until now. This discovery could finally help piece together her story. The entire necropolis is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and includes significant monuments like Djoser's Pyramid. With further excavation planned, experts hope Queen Night's temple will offer new insight into the early dynasties and forgotten figures of ancient Egypt. Number 9. Roman mosaic beneath the streets of Var. On the Croatian island of Hvar, a striking Roman-era mosaic has been uncovered just 2 feet beneath the surface of a city street. Archaeologists believe the elaborate geometric design once formed part of a grand Roman villa. The mosaic's survival is considered incredibly fortunate, given its shallow depth and proximity to sea level, conditions that normally lead to water damage. Now exposed, it's even more vulnerable to flooding, a recurring issue in the area. Residents and researchers alike hope for funding to install a plexiglass shield that will safeguard the mosaic while keeping it visible to passers-by. However, further excavation is required first. Experts need to determine how much of the design remains buried and what steps are necessary to preserve it. For now, this unexpected glimpse into Roman craftsmanship remains a source of local pride, blending seamlessly with the modern streetscape above. It's a vivid reminder of how entire layers of history still lie quietly beneath our feet, and we don't know. Number 8. Wooden Roman figurine. Found in Buckinghamshire. Most Roman-era figurines that survive today are crafted from stone, but every now and then a rare exception appears. In Buckinghamshire, during the early stages of railway development, archaeologists discovered a carved wooden figure preserved in a waterlogged ditch. Despite heavy decay, it's clearly a human form wearing a knee-length tunic and possibly a cap, although experts remain divided on that detail. Originally taller, the figure is now just over 2 feet in height, having lost its lower legs to time. The statue's purpose remains unclear. Some researchers propose it may have been an offering tossed into the ditch, a theory commonly applied when context is uncertain. It's the first significant artifact recovered from the site, and its presence suggests there may be more to uncover. Though it's been more than a century since a similar wooden Roman figure was found, the rarity and condition of this one make it especially valuable. Excavation efforts are continuing, with hopes of uncovering additional clues nearby. Number 7. Iron Age village found in ancient waste pile. In Pitton, Cheshire, archaeologists made an unexpected discovery while sifting through what appeared to be a dense pile of ancient waste. To their surprise, the refuse turned out to be the preserved remnants of a Celtic Iron Age village. Although the roundhouses that once stood there have long since vanished, the surrounding ditches, once used for dumping daily trash, survived thanks to the clay-rich soil. The site, now a farmer's field near the River Dee, yielded over 5,000 artifacts. Among them, decorated antler toggles, fragments of pottery jars used for salt and meat, and stone molds and anvils indicating copper and iron smelting. One intricately carved toggle was discarded roughly 3,000 years ago. The range of items suggests this may have once served as a regional trade hub, using the river to distribute goods. The combination of domestic items and industrial tools paints a selfie of a village that thrived on both commerce and craftsmanship. For now, the full scale of the site is still being carefully documented. Number 6. Crown plaque dug up during roadworks in Bradford. During roadwork at Green Gates Crossroads in Bradford, England, workers came across a large metal crown plaque, a historic artifact whose origins remain under debate. The plaque was discovered in May 2021 beneath the site of a former pub that had stood for centuries, although experts agree the object predates the tavern itself. One theory, supported by archaeologist Michael Fraser, is that the plaque once adorned a toll booth used to collect taxes on behalf of the English crown. Judging by its style and craftsmanship, it could date as far back as the Georgian era, possibly earlier. The plaque is now undergoing analysis to confirm its age and origin. Once restored, it's expected to be displayed in a local museum. The construction company responsible for the roadwork has agreed to assist with restoration by sandblasting the plaque to remove corrosion. Until more is confirmed, the crown remains an intriguing piece of civic history, one that ties Bradford's modern roads to its royal past. All right, now let's head over to number 5, the 7,000-year-old seawall of Israel. As modern nations scramble to reinforce coastlines against rising sea levels, it's easy to forget that this struggle isn't new. Back in 2019, researchers uncovered what's now considered the world's oldest seawall, over 7,000 years old, on the northern coast of Israel. The structure, running over 300 feet, was likely constructed to protect a Stone Age settlement from advancing tides. Despite the effort, the wall eventually failed. The community it guarded is now submerged, and the wall itself was buried under centuries of silt and debris until a series of storms between 2012 and 2015 finally revealed it. The size of the stones used in its construction is staggering, some weighing more than a ton and measuring up to 3 feet wide. Moving them would have required serious coordination and strength, but even that wasn't enough. The sea won. Still, this ancient barrier proves that climate threats aren't just modern fears, they've haunted human civilization since the beginning, and clearly, we've been fighting water with stone for a very long time. Number 4. Viking relics found by children in Sandwich. Parts of Scotland's Shetland Islands were once home to Viking settlers. That legacy came into sharp focus again when children playing in the historic parish of Sandwich stumbled upon ancient artifacts in April 2021. The items included 3 cross-headed cloak pins, each with distinct craftsmanship. One of them bore a finely carved cross at one end, setting it apart from the others. These types of pins were used to fasten clothing, especially cloaks. While 2 items are clearly identified as pins, archaeologists are unsure whether the third might have been a bone needle. Around the same time, a girl in the same area uncovered a fragment of a Viking-era lamp. The timing of the discoveries almost suggests someone deliberately left the pieces behind. Experts now believe the artifacts might have marked the ends of a Viking longhouse, a hypothesis they're now working to confirm through deeper excavation. For now, the finds offer a rare hands-on connection to everyday Viking life in the Scottish Islands. Number 3. World's biggest dinosaur found in La Fleca. With all the digs and fossil hunts over the decades, you'd think we'd already found the biggest dinosaurs. But in 2014, a farmer accidentally changed that. While tending to his land, he stumbled across the thigh bone of what would become known as the largest land animal ever identified, a new species of titanosaur. By analyzing the femur, scientists estimated this creature stretched at least 130 feet in length and towered over 60 feet tall. It likely weighed close to 80 tons, roughly 14 times heavier than a modern African elephant. And yet, despite its size, it wasn't a predator. This prehistoric giant was a herbivore, peacefully grazing its way through the Cretaceous period. The find blew apart previous assumptions about dinosaur limits and reminded us that even now, the Earth still hides creatures of impossible scale. It was huge. Number 2. The bronze hand beneath Hadrian Sep's wall. In 2019, archaeologists near Hadrian's Wall uncovered a bronze hand so finely detailed it even had fingernails. Named the Hand of God, the artifact was buried about 1,800 years ago during one of the most violent chapters in Britain's Roman history. Its discovery points to the final Roman push north into Scotland, a brutal campaign that began in 209 CE and involved over 50,000 soldiers. The area around the Roman fort of Vindolanda became a war zone for 2 years. Once the campaign ended, a temple dedicated to Jupiter was constructed nearby. The bronze hand was likely created as a ceremonial offering to mark the war's end and the temple's completion. It might have symbolized divine approval or Roman relief. Either way, the level of detail in its design suggests it was not just symbolic. The artifact carries traces of worship, fear, and exhaustion, all forged into bronze. A tribute not just to a god, but to survival after 2 grueling years of bloodshed. Number 1. Medieval tiled floor in Gloucestershire. In early February 2022, a medieval tiled floor was revealed during excavations at a construction site in Gloucestershire, England, a location set for a £107 million housing and commercial development. The discovery may finally end a long-running debate among local historians. The green and white glazed tiles are believed to be part of the cloister belonging to the Whitefriars Carmelite Friary. Though records confirmed the friary's presence during medieval times, its precise location remained unclear. The structure stood for over 300 years and was central to civic life, yet it was never marked accurately on historical maps. That anomaly baffled researchers for decades. Now its position appears resolved. However, the future of the site remains uncertain. Construction will continue as planned, meaning whatever remains beneath could be lost unless moved. Experts are pushing to fully excavate and preserve the tiles before they vanish under concrete forever. A rare glimpse into the architectural detail of medieval Gloucestershire and a key piece of its religious past. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for hanging with us, and we'll see you soon in the next one.